Preston just branded himself as the Charleston homie. He actually is a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. I coached him at Keller Williams Premier in Colorado Springs. He has only been on mega teams. So he was the marketer for their team. He did video, he did their editing, he did their photos, then became a realtor. And from there, he went to another mega team. And then now he moved to Charleston. He went to that team. And what I love about him is he is just reinventing himself everywhere he goes. And eventually he wants to come back to Colorado. And so he has all the skills. So I love working with Preston because he's an artist, right? He has his, I think, master's in marketing. So Preston, I'll have you give your background. But he's super coachable and he has a personality that people gravitate to. And the thing, and Preston, I hope you don't, get mad at me for saying this, but one thing that I see with a lot of people is it's self-belief, right? It is when you go and work with different teams and you work with different markets, the biggest thing is you have to believe in yourself. And even if you're on a team or a mega team, you constantly need to be branding yourself. So, Preston, without further ado, thank you so much. Please introduce yourself. Maybe you can comment on what I've mentioned as well.
Hey, thanks for being here, everyone. So this is kind of like my first Zoom teaching branding class. So I'm kind of excited to give it a test run with you all. And so, yeah, like she said, I was in Colorado for a few years and I just moved to Charleston. I just hit my 1-year anniversary with this team I'm on here. And it was a tough transition to move to a new market without ever being to the city before, knowing anyone, after building a pretty good career in Colorado. But this year to date, I just surpassed 10 million. So it's been a good year so far. So I've been trying to teach this, just how to build your personal brand and basically future-proof yourself, just with all the changes that are coming, and try to keep yourself relevant and engaged with the community that you're working with. And so today is just going to be like kind of a part 1 of a workshop and just kind of help you guys identify your brand, identify your voice, kind of help you guys give you guys a roadmap to what your brand could sound like. And also, a couple quizzes that I have in here that'll help you figure out, what kind of color you want to use in your brand, what kind of fonts you want to use based off of the personalities that, from the questions and answers of the quizzes that I give you guys. So whenever we go through this, there'll be a few quizzes up here, just, kind of write them down on your own. And then we'll look at the answers and results after you guys are finished. And those results will kind of give you a guideline of what your personal brand and voice could be like. So, like I said, I've been in real estate marketing for 8 years before I got into sales. So that was kind of my background, and it just transitioned. It transitioned well. So now I just kind of brand myself, but I'd like to share it with other people and try to get into this realm of teaching as well. So let me see if I can share my screen.
Preston, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I know people are going to ask me later if they could maybe go in depth and do like a branding workshop with you. Would you be open to charging for like a simple branding workshop down the way?
Yeah, 100%. And that's like, and what I've set up is, if you guys want to get into, like, I have classes where I can teach you how to empower and maintain and build your brand using ChatGPT and Canva Pro, and basically cut the time that it takes in half or even more. And it makes it so simple. Some of the techniques and the prompts and things that I can teach you guys, it's mind-blowing, really. But it's just, you just got to be consistent, and using AI and Canva Pro together makes it really, really easy. So after we get through, like, just figuring out, by the end of this class, you'll have an outline of like your first social media post that you can create based off of what your brand identity is and what, you know, how you want to design it with like your different fonts, the color palette, and how you want it to look based off of who you are. So, you know, at least you'll have your first social media post that you could actually create like 5 or 6 social media posts off of this one post that I'll create and give to you guys. But if you want to go in depth on how to like really create something that looks good and how to use Canva and ChatGPT to create different campaigns and email campaigns, drip campaigns, text campaigns, social media campaigns, I can show you guys how to create full calendars, and it takes, you know, 15, 20 minutes once you get into it. It's not something you have to spend a lot of time on anymore.
You know what? I will say that that is a class that people have been requesting, is really how to get into Canva and how to stay in there, and then integrate it with ChatGPT. So you and I can talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks like people, I'm just going to read these before you get started so you can speak to it. Business is becoming more difficult. I need to stand out more. I feel like branding is so key.
Yeah, I can see that.
I know I have a lot to learn. Branding is fascinating to me, especially the brands that I love. Just getting up to speed with my branding. Very interested how to use ChatGPT. And then I'm going to add something as well. Everyone's trying to look really slick these days and sleek and luxury, and they're going with the black look. I will tell you, I was driving in the mountains just recently, like yesterday, and there were some multi-million dollar houses. You could not see, they had black signs and like kind of gray branding on them. I couldn't even see the person.
So you guys can see that right there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so you guys can see this first window. All right, so you guys ready to get started? Yep. All right, cool. So this is just a little bit about me. Like we went through over some of it. I've been in real estate for 12 years. Just came up on 4 years of sales. I've been a videographer and photographer for over 10 years, specializing in resort photography and videography, content creation in that sense. I got a bachelor's in broadcast journalism, a master's in marketing communications. I've worked with a bunch of different real estate teams, a bunch of big brands, and I've moved around a lot. So I've been in a bunch of different markets, but it always rings true that I could always find a job in real estate by, you know, creating and building a company's brand through, you know, visual mediums and digital marketing. It's always been important, and you know, I'll go there and help them, and if they end up, you know, staying consistent with it, over the years they start to become relevant. And you know, it's not a short game. You know, I'm talking like if you start building your brand now in 3 years, you know, if you're starting, if you create engagement enough with the community you're in, like people will gravitate towards your page if you're putting out, you know, certain content that, you know, is relevant. And there's certain content that, you know, creates more engagement than others. And I can go over some of that stuff later too. But today we're going to go through module 1. It's going to be, you're going to define your brand identity, establish your brand voice, and we'll create your first social media post. But, you know, this is a quote that is important that Jeff Bezos says, and it's, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And it emphasizes that your personal brand is shaped by others' perceptions and underscores the need to cultivate a positive and memorable image about yourself. You know, building a personal brand is crucial in the real estate industry as it sets you apart from competition and establishes your unique value proposition. And your personal brand is not just what you say about yourself, it's about how others perceive you. So this perception is shaped by every interaction, every post, every piece of content you share. So, you know, you just need to be consistent with it and, you know, have a true vision of how you want it to be. And when it comes to using visuals and cultivating a positive and memorable image. See if this is gonna play. genius branding marketer, so you can get this, because these are some great benefits of personal branding that if, I'm not sure if it will or not.
When you're building your brand, and I've been doing this now for 15 years, essentially, this is what people tell me they get from doing it, because there's some work involved, right? I have to figure out what my brand is. I have to get my brand visible to my marketplace. What do I get for all of that? First of all, you get incredible self-awareness. Who am I? What's important to me? Where do I want to go? What makes me great? How do I get people excited about who I am? Then you increase your visibility and presence. All of a sudden, people know who you are, and you have no idea how they know you. You differentiate yourself from everyone else who does what you do. You put yourself in a category of self and control of your career. You increase your wealth. And the reason I do personal branding is really the last two in this list. You achieve your goals, and you do so in a way that's fulfilling, because you're aligning who you are with what you do and how you do it.
So that's, that's pretty true. So if you can get those core statements down, I mean, it really makes it a lot easier, and you start to realize who you are as a person. And in real estate, authenticity, at least in my case, being authentic as I possibly can, because in a lot of ways, I'm not like a lot of other realtors in the market. But it seems to work really well, because I am true. Here's a few reasons. Like I said, I just went over a few reasons, but in real estate, increased visibility and reach, establish that emotional connection, differentiating yourself from other people in the market, because it does take effort. And a lot of realtors, they'll do a few things here or there, post closing pics, but if you go out and you connect with the community in certain ways, and share like how your life is on a daily basis, people enjoy seeing that. And then again, you future-proof your career, and that's just investing in your personal brand. Consistent brand image conveys professionalism, and so the more consistent you are in your visuals and message, it reassures your clients that you're reliable and detail-oriented, which are critical traits for a realtor. So here's the first step. If you guys want to take a second and just list 5 core values that are important to you. These will be the foundation of your personal brand. And then if you want to take a minute and answer the 3 questions below, and just let me know when you're finished up with that. Because identifying your core values is essential when creating your personal brand. Incorporating your core values into your personal brand creates a strong, authentic, and appealing identity too. And then if you move down to define your unique selling propositions, your USPs are important because it differentiates you from competitors, clarifies your unique benefits, focuses your marketing efforts, communicates your value effectively, strengthens your brand identity, and it builds customer loyalty. And having a clear USP helps you stand out, attract the right audience, and maintain consistent messaging. And, this might be the first time you guys are doing this, so these can change for sure. Just kind of write down what you think you have now, and this will continue to adapt and evolve as you build your brand. I mean, it's always going to be evolving. From where I started to where I am now, it's totally different, night and day. But the core essence of who I am and what I've been trying to portray stay the same. So then this discover your personal brand quiz, if you go through and answer these questions right here, this is going to give us a great idea of who you are and what your personal brand's going to be. And we'll be able to go through, tally up your answers whenever you go through these questions. If you have more A's, or if you have more B's, or if you have more C's, or you have more D's, figure out which one you have the most of, and mark that down at the end, because those answers are going to, because whatever you have the most of is going to kind of give us a good, give you a good guideline of where you need to go with your personal brand.
Preston, do you have to pick only one from each category? Because
You don't have to. Like I said, it's going to be like once we tally up the answers, and you can have you know, once you see the results, you'll be able to kind of decide which direction you want to go with. But just whichever you have the most of. So you can definitely have, you know, different kinds of communication styles, or what your most important values are in real estate. They definitely can have, you know, more than one of those. But once we figure out what you have the most of, when it comes to having the most of, you know, more A's or more B's and more C's and more D's, we'll be able to go through those results here in a second. Are you guys finished with this first page? Because there's a couple questions on the next one. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the next one. Is that okay?
almost done.
Okay. All right. And there's 2 more questions right here. All right. So now you can see below, tally up your answers. You can tally up your answers and determine which letters you selected most frequently. And then you can kind of look at those results, and you'll be able to see where, you know, the results from those questions will kind of guide you into what your personal brand is based off of your answers. And this is, like I said, this can just be a stepping stone of what your first, you know, step is to building your brand. But you'll see how it all comes together once we get to that last social media post, and how you can, how it all, you know, blends together with who you are based off of, you know, your honest answers on those quizzes. And if anyone wants to share, you know, what, you know, who they are, was someone mostly A's or mostly B's, or was there a mix?
I got mostly A's.
Yeah, so did I.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good.
And I agree with it.
You agree with
Yes.
it? Yes. So that's,
Mhm.
yes, that's good. So now, you know, that's going to be what you can center your personal brand around. And I mean, if that's the truth and you like building meaningful connections, you're going to see how the content you create will be built around. Okay, so now everyone got the results from your personal brand quiz. And so this is going to help you like understand your unique strengths and values. You can see the conclusion at the bottom. Just use these insights to communicate your brand identity effectively, and this will help you resonate with your values and approach, and, you know, who you want to attract with your clients. And so this next quiz, your answers from the first one to know what your personal discover your perfect look quiz. So this is going to help you figure out, you know, how hard it is sometimes to figure out what type of color to use or what type of font to use. And this quiz is going to help you determine, based off of your answers, the type of fonts, and going to give you the exact layout of what you need to, you know, start creating your post with. You won't have to sit there and go through 1,000 different fonts, which you can. It's fun, but like when you have just a basic outline, it makes it a lot easier. So go through this, and then we'll go to the next slide. And so just let me know when you finish this first page, and then we'll go on to the next one, guys. Everyone done?
I am.
All right.
Done.
So now tally up your results from that quiz. And same thing, if you're mostly A's, mostly B's, you can kind of see this outline will give you the types of fonts you need to use, the color palette, the logo style, the tone of voice that matches, you know, your personality and the results from the quiz that you just took. And trust me, it makes creating a social media post and any type of flyer or marketing material so much easier once you already know what font to go directly to, or what type of color palette you are, or how you want your tone of voice to be, especially whenever you start using ChatGPT and you're creating email campaigns, and you can ask ChatGPT to create these email campaigns in a friendly and approachable tone, or a professional and authoritative tone, or a sophisticated and refined tone. Small details like that make a huge difference whenever you're using AI and those prompts to build these campaigns out. And you guys, I'll share this stuff with you as well, so you can have copies of it. But like I said, this is just a way to get started and have a baseline of it all. I don't know if this is helpful or not, but I think it definitely could be a way to get started on some few things.
It's super helpful, Preston. This is great.
If I may, so if I think back to branding by Tracy Friends that we've had a couple of weeks ago, if you think about her branding, she's very consistent in how she looks, and that consistency is a really big part of the brand, of your brand. So this helps locking in what the consistency should look like, and then just stay on course and just slightly tweak it.
You're exactly right. Like, you don't want to go from, a super loud font to, something that's cursive and just be all over the place. You really do want to stay consistent, especially when it comes to your color palette and your tone.
Yep.
And there's definitely different fonts you can use, but you can, once we get into Canva, you can find different font combinations that, just basically by typing in, I want a modern and bold font combination. Then I want to have a bold and vibrant color palette. There's ways to go in there and automate all of this.
Yeah, can you hear me, you guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
Preston, how do you feel about this? I was talking to my daughter yesterday, and we were talking about branding, and she was talking about the sad beige phase, that you have all these millennial moms, and they're basically going with all these crazy neutrals and the cursives, and they're calling it sad beige. And I have to tell you myself, seeing a lot of my coaching clients, they're going with these really beige colors and these really cursive fonts, and they're just boring as hell to me, and they look like everybody else, and it doesn't stand out. How do you feel about that sad beige look?
And so, it's not really my style. Mine, I go with more earthy tones, greens and blues. And that's just, and I'll show you guys my website that I've built, and you can kind of see how my brand is that I've created here towards the end. But like I said, once we get into Canva and stuff, you'll be able to see it's unbelievable the stuff you can do with it. It really is. You'll get addicted to creating content every night. It's unbelievable. All right, so now that we have all this, now we're gonna go in, and I'm gonna show you guys your first social media post based off of what your personal brand voice is, and then you can create your first post with the font, color, style, and tone that you now have. So if you were all A's, and you're centered around empathy and building meaningful connections, this could be kind of your first social media post. And this can be one full post. You can create multiple posts. What I would do is get a nice headshot of yourself. And, we can maybe do this in the next class or something, but I would get a nice headshot of yourself that has a photo of you and maybe your contact info. I'll kind of show you an example here in a second. And then this underneath where the sample social media post, that would be your caption. And this is the results from the first personal brand quiz. And so there's a sample social media post for each one of those, if you're A, B, C's, or D's. So this one's for A's. If you're mostly A's, you can take a picture of that. If you're mostly B's, confident and results driven, the text is different. You can go through and look at the different text. The tone's different. This post effectively showcases realtors' confidence and expertise, commitment to excellence, setting the tone for professional and results-driven brand identity on social media, and invites engagement from potential clients and positions the realtor as a trusted authority in the local real estate market. And this is if you're mostly B's, when you're confident and results-driven. If you're mostly C's, authentic and genuine, this post effectively conveys a realtor's approachable and authentic personality while inviting engagement from potential clients. It sets the stage for building genuine connections and trust in the real estate journey. And if you're mostly D's, innovative and knowledgeable, this post effectively showcases realtors' innovative approach and expertise and commitment to delivering value to clients, positioning them as a trusted authority in the ever-evolving real estate industry. It invites engagement from potential clients and sets the stage for a successful real estate journey ahead. So these all have different language, a different tone, but it's a basics. It's a baseline of who you are based off of the results from the personal brand quiz. So this is just could be like your first stepping stone. And let me see if I can find like a see if I can find a post that I've done that like what I would consider doing for something like this. But like I said, you could just come up with something like, I don't know, we'll have to go through this whenever we go into the next class, and I can teach you guys how to create kind of like a, oh, okay, so here, this is perfect. Forgot I had this on here. So scan this QR code. And I've created 13 social media agent profile templates that you guys can edit the one that you want and create your first post, basically what I was talking about. Tell me if that still works. Like pull it up and you should be able to edit all 13 of those templates.
It works.
Yeah. So like I said, you can just scroll to the right. These are all editable, whatever ones you feel like fits you. And you can upload your own photo. You can change the text. You can change the colors. But that can be like the post, and then your caption would be whatever, whichever one of these fit your, identity and your voice. And that's just letting the, your audience starting your first, starting your brand out. So that is that.
Pretty cool. Thank you, Preston.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
It's the website that I've built, and so I've created a blog. Basically, this blog's for, I put content up every day, every other day about, the different ins and outs of real estate. And so I can push clients to this. So they have, let's see, I can show you guys. Starting out a real estate, guide to buying a home. And like I said, I'm still building it out. So there's going to be more content added. as I go. But then this is just Charleston Homes Digest. This is basically just Charleston information, new town luxury lifestyle guide, decor tips on a budget. Charleston Emotion is where I like show off all of my content I create, of just like, videos and photos and stuff that I do and in the area. People can come and check out. And just, this is all content that I've created in Canva.
Preston, you're creating this content, but are you also being mindful of SEO? And if so, how are you doing that?
So right now, just starting out, I'm just kind of, like I said, this website's relatively new. So at the moment, I'm just trying to get as much content built into it as possible right now. And then that's definitely going to be like the next step. And that's still something that I know I need to work on. For sure.
Hey, Preston, quick question. I was just trying to connect to you through LinkedIn, and I found your Charleston Homie profile. I love that logo. Is that
Yeah,
something that you're gonna put to the other ones? I mean, are you gonna incorporate that?
So I love that logo too. I created that in Canva. It's probably my favorite logo I've ever created. But I kind of put that on the back burner a little bit because I tend to get ahead of myself and my teams don't like it too much.
I can
Show
see
the
that.
logo. Show the logo.
It's so freaking cool. Tanya's gonna get a kick out of it too, because she's been logoing lately.
Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite logo ever. Yeah, I had to start a new LinkedIn because I don't know.
Oh, your Colorado profile is still up too, by the way.
Yeah, I've been trying to use LinkedIn.
Oh, your top one.
But yeah, this is it right here.
Boom.
But yeah, I love it. I tell you, I think it could be a killer brand one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotta put it on a hat.
Yeah, I put it on a shirt.
On a shirt and a hat and
Yeah,
everything.
I mean, I'm telling you, like it could be like homie Colorado Springs, homie Denver. Like it could be like an actual like brand today for sure.
Homie Irvine. I like that.
Yeah, I know, right? You can't. I know.
That's awesome. Sorry, I just want to point it out.
Appreciate
That was just cool. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thanks for joining. I hope that helped a little bit. And yeah, if you guys want to, I could definitely, if you guys are interested in diving deeper into ChatGPT and how to, keep building your brand and how to basically cut the time that it takes in half. I mean, it's truly remarkable. I mean, you can see all the projects that I've done. I mean, it's constant.
So Preston, while we have you on, can we have some questions?
Yeah.
So people have questions, and then also, can you let them know, like, what would be the top 1 to 2 or 3 Canva tips that have saved you some time? I know one of the tips is removing your background from your photo.
Yeah.
And then the other tip I know that really took me a while was putting my branding fonts and my branding logos and everything in my branding kit, which made it easy. What would you say the top tips would be?
Yeah, like having being able to remove the backgrounds, the photo. I mean, there's so many. AI apps now. I mean, it's unbelievable the stuff you can do. I mean, you can create AI, basically like AI videos, and I mean, it's hard to even, like, I mean, like, you can create stuff like this in a second, and it's like your own AI avatar. Like,
buying a home is one of the most significant financial decisions you'll make, and determining your budget is the crucial first step. Establishing a realistic budget helps you narrow down your home search and ensures you don't fall in love with a property that's out of reach.
and I mean, that's just, yeah, it looks a little AI-ish, but like, who cares? It's content that's on your website. People don't really like, know it that much. I mean, there's so much you can do. And so, I would say now that you do have like your font and your color palette, and those branding, I don't know how you would want your, like, your brand to look like. You can create a brand kit now. And so then every single post that you want to go and create in Canva, you can access it without having to go find every font and every color and everything again. So like, if you go in here, you create new brand. You can drag your logo in here. You can add your color palettes based off of the quiz answers that you created. Then you go through and you type up the, what your heading font's going to be, which was given to you in that of that quiz. You save it. And then when you go to create a design, and say we want to create a newsletter, let's do monthly newsletter. So this is a template for a 3-page monthly newsletter. You go to your brand kit. Here's your color palette. You just hit it, and it's automatically going to give you different color selections you can choose from. Different fonts that's part of your brand. You can apply it to all pages. Here you can generate your brand voice. So you want it to be and you can basically just like type whatever you want in there, and it's going to give you basically it'll generate a post for you. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'll just show you an example.
I want to
So
add,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to add something as well. If several of you have different businesses and different brands, you can have lots of different branding templates in there. Like, I have my coaching business, and then I have my real estate business, and then I have some of my coaching clients in there. So if you waffle back and forth between brands, you can have multiple.
So let me just show you one example. So this ChatGPT, say you wanted to create a intro email to a new buyer client, or say you wanted to create a monthly newsletter for 12 months, right? For dealing with real estate. You could type in here, that
That's great, Preston. It's like it can happen while you're making breakfast.
yeah. I
That's
mean, I have all of these over here. I mean, you can do, I wanted a 500-word blog on the importance of home inspections in the home buying process. I typed in, write a 500-word blog post on why it's important to get a home inspection and why it is important to have a home buying process. and it gives me that right there. Takes no time at all. You copy and paste this into Canva in a design that you create. So like for that one,
I was just gonna ask you that. How do you then put it on Canva and on your social media post?
yeah, so like for this one, I created a blog post. So I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you what the final, so for this this one, for the importance of home inspections. So I'll show you what the blog post ended up looking like. So this is what I ended up creating. And how that looked like in Canva was, and so what I would do is you go in here to elements. I mean, you can type in Denver, Colorado. Let's get a sky. Let's get a photo of Denver, Colorado. Let's get a video of Denver, Colorado. Hell, let's put that in there. Let's put maybe a cool background. Or, you know, you can do whatever you want. And it's just like, you know, you can put that in there. Gorgeous photo. Now you just copy and paste. I would put this right here.
Preston, if you did your website in Canva, who's hosting it? Because I know we could do websites on GoDaddy and Go High Level and all that.
Canva has its own hosting platform too. I don't know if I would recommend it. I don't know if like that's the route I'm going to go, but you can buy your URL through Canva as well. And it has insights and everything like that.
But if you bought your URL through like GoDaddy or something, you could just integrate it through Canva. Is that how that works?
You can integrate it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or you can go to Fiverr.com and have someone create your website for you for $30. There's all kinds of, I mean, that's a whole nother ball game I could get into with you. You have no idea about that either.
I use Fiverr all the time. I use 99 Designs for my logo. For $299, I had 300 renditions. And then I use GoDaddy for hosting.
So what I would do is I'd have two screens up. I would have, you know, what my blog post was over here. Anyway, but like, you know, you would just copy, go over here, paste it. And you go through and you just create it and you just add different images. And you can go through and you can design, you can go, like, when you go, you have these different templates. All you do is type in, let's do a real estate newsletter. All these different templates right there. You just insert the information you want, change the graphics. Say you want to do a real estate IG reel. There's all your reels. Hell, you don't even have to do shit. You can just like you can just use one of these that are already made up for you. You know what I mean? Like some of these, like I don't even change anything but my branding, right? Like I'll just put my logo in. Like there's different tips and stuff like that in here. Like this one right here, I've used this one and I didn't even, all I did was just change my logo. And then it was like, took like a minute to paste it. And it was, so like this one, you know, just.
So what did you do? Can you show them like?
So you can, so I would just, so basically, like you could just type in what you wanted up here, or if you wanted to do like, if you wanted to put like a Denver background or something like that, or you know, and then you would just, you could just add your logo in here somewhere, and then you just share and you download it. And then it just comes up as a, I'll show you. And you just transfer it over to your phone and post it on IG. And with
That's awesome.
And with ChatGPT, you can, like, instead of having to come up with like a bunch of different hashtags and stuff, you can just say create, like if you wanted to come up with a caption for that, create an IG caption for a post describing a perfect in Littleton, Colorado. Add 20 hashtags relevant to the Littleton, Colorado real estate market at the end. There's your IG post.
Have you made this into a custom GPT for yourself?
How do I do what?
You can create this into an actual custom GPT, so it'll do the same thing over and over again. That's what I've done for myself, and it's super, super easy to do if you go up to the top left and create your own custom GPT.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what I don't know what you mean.
It's kind of like just like something that you tailor for yourself that will do exactly what you want it to do repeatedly. I can send you more information later, but just wanted to tell you that's what you would want to do for this.
That'd be great. I love it. I mean, it's really count on the time. I mean, you can create 50 social media posts in a minute if you wanted to, and you can batch load. Like,
You mentioned Fiverr will create a website for you for $30. Is that price come with, you have to buy your domain with Fiverr, or?
No, they just.
so Fiverr's
graphic design.
interesting. So Fiverr is a whole, like, there's so much you can do on it, and it's basically just outsourcing everything, outsourcing it to the lawyers, and outsourcing everything, and there's different price, everything like that. I mean, it ranges from $20 on a website to, Fiverr.
Thank you. I do like this video thing you just showed. That's really, really interesting.
But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, that's what I got for you guys today. If you have any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Preston. All right, thank you guys so much. And Preston, this was helpful.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.